Hey, what's going on, everybody? Squints Provolone coming at you with an update and a book review. So let's get the update out of the way. So it's been a long time, and I got a comment from my good friend Tim at It's Terrific, and he wanted to know where Squints was at. Hey, where you at, Squints? Where's how come you're not making videos? And well, it's because I've been working a lot. I've been working a lot, and Um, it's a good thing. Trying to get back to normal. I was off for a long time because I was injured, and but I'm back, and I'm starting to get back into the everyday grind, and it's an everyday grind for me. But everything's good. I like my new job. It's fun. I have a good time with it. So that's good. I lost a lot of weight, grew my hair out, and that's about it, man. I do not have any time whatsoever to go on any book hunts. I don't have any time to read. I don't really have any time to really see any movies. So I don't have any time for this. So that's where I've been. That's what's been happening with me. I've just been trying to get back into the everyday grind, and just working, and just trying to take care of myself and trying to take care of my family. And that's about it. But once in a while, I do get a little time to myself. And what happened was we had a lot of rain where I live, and all the internet's out. And I was doing laundry, and I was like, you know what? I want to read. So I looked on my bookshelf, and I did not want to read anything that I had to commit to. So I picked up a short stories novel, and I'm pretty sure I revealed this on one of my book reveals or book finds. But yeah, I picked this one up. The Twilight Zone, the original stories, 30 of the most famous, weird, and shocking stories ever published. Yeah, it has, there's all kinds of authors in it. Uh, it was published in 1985. This is a first edition. It was they had to get Carol Serling, I believe that's his wife, to help with putting this all together, and she helped to get all the permission to put it together, and some of the authors as well got together to put it all together for us, and in honor of Rod Serling. Richard Matheson, Charles Beaumont, Lynn Venable, Paul Fairman, Jeremy Bigsby, Damon Knight, Price Day, Ray Bradbury. There's a story in here by Ray Bradbury. That one is I Sing the Body Electric. Very, very, very cool stories. I remember a lot of these stories. Nightmare at 20,000 feet, Long Distance Call, Little Girl Lost, I Sing the Body Electric, The Howling Man, To Serve Man, that's a really good one. One for the Angels, that's the first story, and that's the one I read. I remember that I remember not, I won't say, I can't say that I remember all of them, because there are some that I haven't. I know I've seen most of them, but as I've gotten older, I know that there were a lot that weren't out, that didn't come out, and they're like in a vault or whatever, and or some of them were pulled, from the original series, and they never were aired. These stories, however, they all have air dates, so they were all in the original series. that just One for the Angels is about an older man. He was in his late 60s. His name is Lou or Lewis, and he is a salesman, or he makes pitches. He's got a little briefcase, and it has like legs, it comes out, and he flips it open, and he sells ties and trinkets and toys and all kinds of different stuff. And he makes pitches to people to, buy his things. And he's very, very good with the children on the block. They all adore him, and they think he's just the greatest old man. And he's always got all these stories, and he always has things for them, little toys and stuff like that. And he's very close with one of the little girls who lives in his building. He's very close to her. And anyways, he's out doing his pitches, and he's not really doing all that well. It's really hot. It's in July. It's very hot. And he sees a man across the street that kind of he's off, and he's kind of getting a weird vibe from him, and it kind of scares him. So he goes inside, packs up, goes inside his apartment, and the man's in his apartment. Come to find out, that man is Death, and he has come for Lou. It's time for him to go, and he has to come with him. And so Lou doesn't want to die. He doesn't want to leave. And so Death says, well, I could grant you more time if, you fall under one of these categories. And one of them is like, are you a scientist or an inventor, and you have unfinished work that you need to do that'll, benefit mankind? No, he doesn't. Do you have family members that won't, can't live without you, or their life would severely change if you're not around, right now? I can grant you more time if that's the case. He says, no, I don't. I live alone. I'm just a lonely old man. And then the next one, I don't remember what it was, the next one, but basically it was something around like unfinished business, so to speak. And he said, well, I never did make the perfect pitch. I never did make that perfect sales pitch, one for the Angels. And at first, Death doesn't understand what he's, he doesn't understand it. And he's like, no, I can't grant you that, no. But then he realizes what it really means to him, and he then grants him the time. So when he grants him the time, he basically says, okay, so the agreement is when you make your perfect pitch, the one for the Angels, after that, you'll come with me. And Lou said yes. So they agreed on this. So then Lou kind of puts it in his head, he's a smart guy, and he's like, well, wait a second. If I never make the perfect pitch, if I never make this happen, I won't have to see Death again, and I won't die. And that's how he thinks. But Death says, wait a second, you can't go back on your word. We made an agreement, and there's consequences. If you don't come with me, somebody else has to take your place. So I don't want to give away everything, but that's basically the story. That's what it is. These are little short stories, little half-hour, episodes, and it's a very, very good episode. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend the series, because the series is awesome. It's the best series ever, and yeah, I highly recommend that one. It's a good episode. The only difference I saw in the story that I read in the book and the episode itself is, I believe the little girl in the story has braces on her legs. I'm pretty sure. I gotta watch it again, because now it's really bothering me. But in the story in the book, she doesn't have braces on her legs. She's just a little girl. But there's little differences, and I want to see it to kind of match them up. But everything that I read is just like I remember it, outside of the little things. Very, very good, very well written, and very fun to read. I can't wait to read the rest of them because I'm all in on it. I think it's a fantastic little compilation. I'm glad that I found it. I'm glad I came across it. You can always find cool stuff at used bookstores. This was a really great find, and I only paid $2.50 for it. So there you go. If you can find it, I highly recommend it. It's a really good read so far. I only read one story, but it's the only thing I've read since it's been a while. It's been what has it been, like over 5-6 months? I haven't read anything. So there's my little book review. I'm excited to read the rest of the stories. I'm glad they're short stories because it's something that I can just read tonight. I'll probably get through 2 or 3 of them, and I can read them at night, when I'm going to bed. So it's great. Short stories are the best because, you could just you don't have to commit so hard, to a novel. If you don't have a lot of time, short stories are the way to go. But yeah, I on my books that got to be read, it's still back there. It's really high now, but I really, really want to read. Salem's Lot. I really want to read Black House. I haven't read those 2 books yet, and I want to read those next. Black House especially, because I need to read Black House because I really want to read Fairy Tale and by Stephen King. I have been dodging like crazy any book reviews on that book because I want to read Black House. I want to finish Black House, and then I want to read Fairy Tale, and I can't wait to read it, and I want to go in completely blind. So there you go. That's what I've been up to. I just working and doing what I can, and yeah, that's it, man. Anyways, I will try to update you with some more of the stories if I get through them. I really, really want to read some of the stories and watch the episodes along with them and compare them. But so far, that story matches completely well with the series. It almost identical, outside of tiny little things. So yeah, if you're a Twilight Zone fan, I recommend it. Try to find it. I don't know if they made it in paperback or if it's out of print. I have no idea. I just know that was published in 1985. I'd like to see a paperback of it because that would be kind of fun to have that. But if you're not a fan of Twilight Zone, then be a fan of Twilight Zone and watch the episodes because they're awesome. Like, even my kids like them. Like, I'll put them on and they always say, "Oh, the spooky stories. Yeah, let's watch that, Dad." Like, yeah, that's right. Twilight Zone. Anyways, this is Squints Provolone saying have a good night, and I'll catch you on the next one. Late.